Welcome. This isn't your average movie podcast. We go where no man has gone before.
You know what I'm craving? A little perspective.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Well, say something, goddammit! You're on television! You're live to the whole world!
Join us as we review movies new and old. You're tuned into Lupo's Cinema Symposium.
Are you watching closely? Look closer. Never show anyone. They'll beg you and they'll flatter you for the secret, but as soon as you give it up, you'll be nothing to them. You understand? Nothing. The secret impresses no one. The trick you use it for is everything.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Lupo's Cinema Symposium. I'll have what she's having. My name's Christian, and we have a very special show for you today. It's our very first staff pick, and I am joined by my co-hosts, Lupo and Rob. How you doing, guys?
Great.
Very
man.
good. Very
Happy to
good.
be here.
Very good. Very excited.
Yeah, so this episode's a little different. Jim, do you want to bring us into it?
Yeah, so the regular movie reviews that we do, we have a pool and we let ducks race along. Whoever wins goes. There's a number associated with that with the pool, so it's all random, right? And we figured, sometimes you just really want to get to a movie that you just really want to talk about, or it's one of your favorites, or it would be very interesting to talk about and review. So we decided that we would do staff picks. So for the very first one, Christian took the lead here, and he picked Charlie Chaplin's City Lights, which, we'll get into it. Black and white to start out, bold choice.
Silent.
Yeah,
Cool.
this has been on my Letterboxd top 4 for a very, very long time. It's actually the first Criterion Blu-ray I ever bought. I don't really remember. I think it was early high school that I was introduced to this movie and like a couple other silent movies as I was just getting into like the deeper realm of like pre-existing film. And it's one that has always stuck with me. And Rob, you've seen it before as well, right?
Yeah. I
And
have seen it. Yeah.
Jim,
I've
this is your
seen.
first time?
This is my
Yeah.
Oh,
first
sorry,
time, yeah.
sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah. This is my first time seeing it. I have the only other Charlie Chaplin film I saw was Modern Times.
Well, you're ahead of a lot of other people in that aspect, so be proud.
Good.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen a lot of movies. My blind spot probably is silent movies, but I've seen a couple. Modern Times is one of them. This is one of them. Metropolis is one of them. Battleship Potemkin, and then you see a trip to the moon and stuff like that. But I don't have as much of these. But City Lights is one I've seen, and it's always one I've enjoyed.
Before we get into the actual movie, can you tell me why they were silent?
I can do that. So I guess I'll kind of work backwards a little bit. This movie was made during the talkie boom. Talkie being a movie with, audible dialogue. Is what they called it back then. Charlie Chaplin was very much still in love with, silent movie making and decided to take the risk. And because he's Charlie Chaplin, he was kind of given that liberty. So this movie actually appeared in a market that already had sound pictures.
Hmm.
Before that, the technology just wasn't there really. Like you can distribute film reels with images on them really easy, but like sound recordings, it just like the technology hadn't caught up to yet. So that's like the main reason. And most of the in the early 20s and stuff when like film really got big, most movie theaters had full orchestras. It was a little bit more of an extravagant thing. So you would get like a composition along with the silent film to be played in tandem. and that's how just movies were consumed and watched. Um, by the time this came out, I think you get I believe you get reels with the music already baked into it. Um, but yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this movie came out, like I said, in the early days of the talkie boom. It was an artistic liberty kind of thing. He really wanted to stick with it. Charlie Chaplin, like very, he has movies with sound, like The Great Dictator, and another one I really like, Limelight, a lot. But no, he was still very much in love with this style of filmmaking, and it turned out to be a good risk because this was very like commercially and critically successful.
Hmm. Um.
I do kind of wonder, like, because they had obviously they had no dialogue, they just had the music. If that like did play a big part in going forward, like how important music would be to like cinema,
Yeah,
even after they had dialogue.
and it's always kind of been that important to cinema. Um,
Yeah.
Maybe not immediately, but once it became a real big thing and like its own like media, yeah, I mean, it's a shame too because like a lot of these early films, we don't have. If we have the copy of the silent film, fun like most silent films are lost to time. We have like maybe 10% of all silent films ever made.
I
Um,
didn't know that. Is that true?
and I might be blowing the
Wow.
number up a little bit, but it's
But yeah,
yeah,
there's still a lot, is what you're saying, though. That's
yeah.
interesting. I didn't
And
know
there are
that.
some movies we have, but we lost the original compositions to.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you've ever heard of The Passion of Joan of Arc. It's like
Yeah.
like that we don't have the original compositions for, like the music for.
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah,
Google
people have
says.
tried and like succeeded, in my opinion, of like making their own music for that movie. But yeah, no, we're lucky to have like the original sounds for this, and along with the pictures. And
Hmm.
obviously, like the real big famous ones like this, you're gonna have a lot of copies of to restore and distribute again. Because, like I said, this movie was very commercially successful.
And this was later too, like you said, so it was probably more of a priority, I guess, at that point. Like earlier ones, maybe not so much. They probably weren't thinking about outside of like the initial theatrical run. Like, why are you gonna,
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah. I
have
mean,
these copies of these
like
movies? I don't know.
home video definitely wasn't a thing in
Yeah.
1931. So yeah, it's like once it was distributed and you had your run in theaters, like it was pretty much up to theaters to play it every now and then, probably like as a matinee. But outside of that, like your money's made and it's done.
And
Hmm.
you'd have to be, and the movie would have to be pretty popular for them to do that. Like, think about all the movies that like maybe had like, we have so many cult classics now and stuff like that. There was no room for that back then. I don't think, because
It would have
I
looked
mean, I
very
guess
different than what
unless
it is.
unless
Yeah,
the theater really wanted to play the movie, I guess. But you would think about it, they would only ever go back to like commercially successful movies that people were like really wanting to see again. A lot of those movies, maybe people weren't going out to see that first initial theatrical run. They might
yeah.
not revisit that stuff. So
And like a lot of people love this movie. Like a lot of names you would recognize. This is their favorite movie. Um, Kubrick said it was one of his favorite movies, or Kubrick, however you want to say it. Um, Orson Welles, this is one of his favorite movies. Albert Einstein went to the premiere of this movie, so it's like it's got a lot of like well-known people who really enjoy this.
I also think it's like very approachable. This one in
Yeah.
particular.
I think this is like one of the most accessible silent films you could like start with.
Yeah, because it's so. I think the reason Chaplin movies and to a lesser extent, but still Buster Keaton movies
Yeah,
continue to get audiences is because of the physical comedy, and like that is just completely timeless. Like it doesn't matter how dated everything else is. That translates that comedy translates through time. And this movie in particular is really, really funny, I think.
I think so as well. Jimmy, I'm interested as someone who probably hasn't seen a whole lot of silent movies. This, and you said Gold Rush, right? Like, what did you think of this?
I thought it was good. I the later the movie went, the more funnier, or I found the bits to be more funny. Like especially my favorite part of the comedy aspect was the boxing when they actually got into the ring. I was for whatever reason when he just started hiding behind the ref,
Behind the ref,
and
it's
then
so
when they
funny.
like turned, especially when like after a while when the ref and the other boxer just started fighting each other, I just thought that was so funny. That whole bit, I was there are a few times I'll get like a chuckle a couple times, maybe even an LOL during a movie. Uh, when that fucking happened, I burst out laughing. So
Like it's so funny how some of this comedy just like still gets you,
yeah.
and like that might be again like a symptom of not having dialogue because there's no punchlines, right? It's just something funny to look at, and that kind of like doesn't really age the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. For me, like I start laughing at this movie like almost as soon as it starts when the national anthem starts playing, and
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
just
I
starts
was just
freaking
gonna say
out.
that. And he's hanging from his butt, and he has his hand on his heart. Yeah, it's hilarious.
That reminds me, and the first time you meet the millionaire,
Dude,
that always
yeah.
kills me. Like every time I watch this movie, I am dying laughing when he throws Charlie Chaplin over with the rock in the road.
Yeah. And then
I
drags
also
him into the
love
water.
when they go back to his house and they're drinking, and the guy, well, they kind of do the joke twice in a different way, but he's pouring the
Down his
liquor down his
pants.
pants, and then later they go to the club, and every time he's like he puts his cigar in his mouth and he tries to light it. It's like you're kind of doing the same joke, but it's so funny every time. It's just a different way of doing it, but
And you
I
gotta
loved
really
it.
respect like the choreography that goes along with all of this. Like this is hard work to make this land and be perfect.
Yeah, especially the boxing match. I remember the first time I saw this, that really struck me with like how a lot of that stuff could be kind of intricate in how they do all that and the timing of it. And like if you don't time some of that stuff right, it's
It
not
doesn't
as
work
funny.
at all.
Yeah.
I feel the same
So
way with the window scene when he's staring at the statues and then he's like
yeah.
walking back and forth over the lift.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the beginning.
Yeah, this is just like to me like a very very well put together movie of like a product of everybody's hard work and Chaplin being like a very like notorious perfectionist. Like a lot of these movies have like 300 plus takes in some of these scenes. So you could tell they put the dedication in, even though it drove people up a fucking wall. How Chaplin worked, I mean, it comes together so well. It's hard to, be
It's
that mad
also
at it.
it's also like it's almost reductive to like just talk about the physical comedy because like the story itself can
Oh, it's
sometimes be
amazing.
really funny and how it plays out like because especially like I'm thinking about the scene when the robbers rob the millionaire and then he's knocked out and Chaplin runs out to the cops and then the cops think it's him and it's like this whole ordeal that just is so it becomes so funny and it's yeah, so it is more than just like a guy slipping on a banana peel type of thing. Like there's a lot to it that, and it's just a the movie is very likable
It's
and
sweet too. It's
charming
not
and sweet.
just funny. Yeah.
I was just gonna say that because the love story in this is so sweet, and I think that's why I like. I think Modern Times is also really funny, but the difference between Modern Times and this for me is the love story in this works really well and is really sweet and like really actually like was pulling on my heartstrings a little bit versus Modern Times I just thought it was like it was fine. It was good for what it was, you know. But this I thought was really special in that way. I thought that was just a really unique I mean, you don't. I didn't expect it. I guess. Like, I didn't expect this, like, kind of.
Slapstick. Like.
Well, no, I'm talking about just like how sweet that love story is and the ending is, and like I don't know how much it. I thought, yeah, you expect when you go into this and you see all the comedy, you kind of expect it to be one thing, and then for it to reach that point, and I thought that was all really like, I don't know.
It's like deeply human, for lack of a better word. Like,
Yeah,
I agree. It's a touching love story and also like a great comedy, and it's kind of amazing how well balanced those two aspects are in this.
I think there's like depth to it, in that like she's blind and then she gets her sight back, and it's like she doesn't know who she doesn't know who she's going to see. You know what I mean? And
And all of that,
she loves him because of all the stuff he's done and like how she's gotten to know him, whatever. But
yeah,
like
and
she
all of that
doesn't know.
worry comes from
Yeah,
Chaplin's character himself. She never says anything about his looks or his status, right?
yeah, yeah.
He just assumes that's what she will think.
And it's
And he does,
amazing that he can
yeah.
portray all that like just visually, because like the acting in this is amazing, especially at the end. He does a lot of the work, like you're saying. It's they don't have the luxury of him just being able to like talk to somebody and just
Yeah.
outwardly say, "Oh, here's how I feel." He has to show you, and I think there's a lot of things like that make this movie. I think it's something that everybody should see at least once, because it kind of makes you look at movies differently.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. And like that, what you just said is why it's on my. Other than that I immensely enjoy it. That's why it's on my top 4 in Letterboxd.
yeah. I kind of want to hear more from Jimmy.
I do
Like
too.
so you've seen Modern Times, Jim.
Yeah.
Okay.
How'd this
When
compare?
did you see that?
I took a film class in high school, and so
Oh,
in the
okay.
high school class, it was literally, um, we took that for semester or whatever that was. So 2-3 months. Very first movie was starting in the very beginning. So we went with a silent black and white film, and it was Modern Times. And then, you know, I'm old, so 12 years after high school or whatever, 10 years after high school, I saw City Lights. So I believe Modern Times was it, was this one first, or is Modern Times, which one was the
I
earlier
believe
one?
I believe this is the earlier one. I could be wrong.
Okay. I
Let's
think
find
that's
out.
true,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
Modern Times, he does finally do like a singing bit in it,
Yeah,
where
Modern
he
Times is
goes like,
36. This is 1931.
yeah. So I that was like my first intro to like, this is like an older movie. I mean, I'm sure there are older movies, but I mean it was a good starting point. But so I'm a little fuzzy on the other details, but I know in that movie, in Modern Times, I did enjoy. There were more like better visual gags, like especially like the iconic one of him on the rollerblades and like the Macy's, or I don't know if it was the
Mhm.
Macy's store, but it was like the department store, and
With
that
him
whole,
stuck in the gears as well. Like, yeah,
yeah.
that one's more of a straightforward comedy too.
Spectacle.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's more of a spectacle too. This is kind of a basics.
Yeah.
Like it's just a guy who's silly and is falling down, and
He just like
yeah, it's
his
just
wacky antics. Like the story is a lot smaller,
yeah,
but it like makes sense. Like all everything he does is pretty self-contained. Like he sees the chick, and he's like, "Oh, I really like this chick." So then when he like happenstances along the millionaire, like that hilarity ensues, but it also feeds back into like the romance of the movie.
Mhm.
And so it all like makes sense. Like sometimes like I enjoy some of the smaller bits of these, where it was like the statue scene, where like it doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it was just meant to be like, this is kind of funny. Um eh,
yeah. It just works as an introduction to the type of humor you're getting, but also an introduction to like it does introduce you to his character. He's basically a
He's the
clumsy
tramp.
fuck up
Yeah.
who just
yeah,
is
chaos
total
follows.
fuck up. Yeah.
Um
Interesting you like to mention that too. Like the tramp, I believe this character was like a carryover from like his vaudeville days,
Hmm. Which
or
is
like
more.
directly inspired. Vaudeville was like on stage stuff, like
Like,
very slapsticky, like physical humor and pantomime. And people would go and like watch people perform that on stage, and that's where Chaplin got his start.
Huh. Um, that's cool. I do enjoy one of the things too about these older movies is that there's so much like history and stuff behind it that um just as a dude like right now all my reading is just being about random like events in history. So I'm sure I will probably be getting into a deep dive. I do one point maybe like we'll have like a random instead of like reviewing a movie, maybe we do like something where we just talk about the film industry like we did for the Clint Eastwood movie where we talked about that dude on fire and then you find out or I finally learned about the fire gel and all that.
oh
Mm.
yeah.
Just like how they
Like the
film
behind the scenes stuff.
just like how they film stuff or like what they got going on. Like I recently saw a clip, I don't know if it was from Severance or something, but like that one like
Oh,
male
how they
actor.
got him running around Adam
Yeah,
Scott.
yeah, like I
Yeah,
just think
yeah,
that's so it's so
yeah. It's
crazy how they
interesting.
do that.
IMDb is a very good source for those as well.
It's a
Yeah.
lot. Some stuff is a lot harder than it looks, and people sometimes take it for granted if they don't know what goes into it. Um, but what you're saying about the history, I think what's interesting about this movie in modern times as well, for me, less so this movie, modern times more so, but I think it applies to both. It's just like how different the time is, but at the same time, things really don't change, and in many ways, we in society are very similar to the one that existed back then. Um, I think that's also another reason, not just because of the comedy, but also that aspect is why, of all his movies, I think this and Modern Times are probably the most like approachable for today. Would you agree with that, Christian?
Yes, I would maybe add the kid, but yeah.
The Kid, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I just think that's interesting, and I think that's why I really like this movie. I think, yeah,
I will say that I normally don't ever do any research for these, so I always go in completely blind. One of the few cursory glances of City Lights, they always talk about the ending scene. They thankfully when they talk about it, they don't describe it at all. But I was acutely aware that there was a really good the ending of the movie. People really seemed to talk about and they really enjoyed.
Did
And
you agree with that sentiment?
I
Did
do
you enjoy it?
agree. I do
Yeah.
agree. When I didn't know how it was gonna happen. I just thought that low key. I thought maybe he was just gonna like walk away from her and like she has like a better life now. Like she's doing good. She's not. They went from their house or they're about to be evicted to now they're at like a store and like she's doing good. I thought maybe he was just gonna like walk away because he realizes like hey maybe that's what's best or something.
Well, he tries to. Yeah.
He does, and then I
like Toy
think
Story.
yeah, and I think that's the just her like recognizing just off of like feeling his hand was it was really romantic and it was very sweet. So I do agree. I do agree with what people say. It's like a really good. I'm sure like what you were saying with the famous directors and people um they really enjoy that movie. I get what they're saying.
I agree as well. I think it, in some ways, makes the movie, which
Yeah.
I'm kind of a sucker for a good ending. Um,
This is one of my favorite endings to a movie ever.
it's just so well executed, and I don't like.
Yeah.
It's not even that it's like. It's just so well executed. It's not. There's no crazy. I don't know. It's just really
No,
well done.
it's a simple, straightforward ending, and
Yeah.
I think what you're saying is what does make that simple, straightforward ending work is that how well executed it is, and like how emotionally poignant it is as well.
Yeah. And he's such a. He's like we see him the whole
He's a ham,
movie. It's
yeah.
actually kind of beautiful. Like the more I keep thinking about it, and it's like, oh my gosh, man, it's so sweet. He looks like a fucking goofball, man, and he acts like a fucking goofball. And this woman looks at him, and she's like, I like this guy, you know. But it's just because she's not thinking about it that way. She's just like, oh, I know this person. Like, I like this person.
I know the kindness they can do.
Yeah. It's very sweet. Very sweet.
And despite being a huge goofball and like the tramp persona, like so he does portray like so much emotion.
Oh
Like
yeah.
like serious, like genuine emotion.
Yeah, it's why you empathize with him. He's not just like a clown. I also, this is kind of off topic, but I also love how the rich guy's like butler just absolutely hates him. He just fucking hates him. He's like, who this fucking guy? Who the fuck is this guy? He just constantly is on his ass. He's ops.
The idea that the rich guy, the eccentric billionaire or millionaire, only recognizes him when he's hammered. So funny. It's such like an old, like cartoony idea of how being drunk. I just love it so much.
3
I
shots
like that.
and they were fucked immediately. I like my one of the wackiest things is that everybody, when they went to the fancy restaurant and everybody was dancing, everybody was perfectly fine, and the second he steps on that, it's like he's on ice.
I like that, and when the lady sits on the cigar.
Yeah.
I like that they were able to cure her blindness.
Yeah.
It's like a sci-fi, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What country?
I never heard of this. Yeah, it was like I never heard of this surgery. I don't remember. It might have been like Denmark or something.
Yeah, some random. Oh, by the way, we figured it out.
Yeah, it's just like a clipping in a newspaper, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it says
I
like,
think they do
something. It
yeah,
says
they do say
somewhere,
some country.
like Ecuador, not Ecuador. I think
Yeah.
it's something in Europe or something.
Yeah, it says some country or something.
This
It's
guy
the idea is
figures it
it's some faraway place. It's not accessible.
Yeah.
And she has no money for rent. Like, how will she afford this? And he gets her the money. And then goes to prison.
Only for what was it? It was in January, and then he gets out in autumn. When does autumn start?
What?
The calendar.
When does
the
autumn
calendar is
start?
If it's that, Jim, we can assume it's like 9 months.
Okay. Well, because so it starts with like the calendar flipping. Maybe they just used, because I don't think they start January 1st. I think it's like January 6th or something.
No, I think they're not implying it's.
Or it's just
showing
I think they're
passage
implying
of
it's
time.
been
a
a
passage of
time jump.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think they're saying it's a specific period. It was just showing the passage.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I fucking love this movie.
Oh, Vienna.
Yeah.
There we go.
Vienna, that sounds right. Yeah.
It's a city in Austria.
Jim, does this make you want to watch more silent? Like, would you like if you, or are you kind of like ambivalent? Like, are you a fan of Charlie Chaplin now or not, or is it just kind of like?
I like the movies.
It's okay.
The 2 movies that I've seen, I like the movies. I will say maybe it's because I'm like modern brained. I need my dopamine hits. I need my flashing colors and big sounds and speaking of the modern movies. So like
your talkies.
Yeah, I need my talkies. I think not that I need, but I think in order of priorities or wants, like list of wants, I think that I'd have to be in like a specific mood to be like, you know what, I'll do a black and white today, as opposed to like just throwing on. Like most of the time for me, I like just like a lot of action packed movies. And like
sometimes you need stimulation.
Yeah. Sometimes I just want to
not just mental stimulation, but I guess that's a stupid thing to. But like, not just like intellectual stimulation, but like just baby brained, like like I'm the same way. I can't just throw anything on.
Yeah.
For some reason, specifically like Sunday mornings, I'm very prone to like watching a silent movie or an early black and white movie.
Mhm.
Black and white doesn't really bother me. I
Yeah.
can watch that pretty much
I
whenever,
think
but
silent is the
silent
big
is
thing.
difficult
Yeah.
for me because I am a very like I don't know. I do like a big part of it for me is the music. So a movie, I know a lot of these have music, but it's not necessarily as sometimes it's just kind of like I would say even the Charlie Chaplin movies. It's not like the music is really a focus. It's more the physical comedy. Um, but so like I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like the hearing aspect of very important to me.
No, I mean we're a modern audience, and I'm the same way.
Yeah.
It's like I can't always like I love this movie, and this is actually maybe the exception to the rule where I could watch this whenever, but no, I'm not always in the mood to watch a silent film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black and white, like you said, doesn't bother me. Like this is different than watching like Psycho
Mm-hmm.
or a black and white movie with sound.
To be honest, even like foreign films, like I do love foreign films, and I think for me they're a little easier to watch than a silent film. But like it is kind
Yeah.
of a similar experience where you have to kind of be in. You're basically in the mood to either just be reading with the foreign films, or in this case, you're in the mood to just watch and not really have your hearing stimulated in that same way. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
The exception for me being there is like maybe some older Japanese stuff, just because some of those performances are crazy amazing.
yeah.
Hmm.
Um, what? There was something else I was gonna say, and I just lost it as soon as I opened my stupid big mouth.
Did you enjoy the kazoo being used?
Yes, because it was hilarious every time.
Oh, for when? Yeah, when they're kind of supposed to be talking or whatever.
Yeah.
Jim,
Or
I wonder if you would like any Marx Brother movies.
what is
I feel like
a
you would
Marx
find
Brother
those.
movie?
Marx Brothers, they were another like vaudeville thing, but they did more talky. They were like they kind of talk like this.
Say.
If you looked up a picture of Groucho Marx, you would instantly recognize him. Like his face has just been in the DNA of pop culture forever. But like movies like Duck Soup.
Hmm.
When I hear
Oh.
Groucho Marx, I don't think of Groucho Marx. I think of Alan Alda as
Yeah,
Groucho Marx.
yeah, it's either Alan Alda or Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, true.
Groucho
Bugs
Marx.
Bunny too.
He's an emoji if you think about it. He's the he's the disguise emoji. Those are Groucho glasses with the nose and the eyebrows.
Huh.
Yeah, like I think isn't that the idea of those masks or like not masks, but what are they? They're the
The glasses with
disguises with the
yeah,
nose. Isn't that the idea of them?
is that you're disguised as Groucho Marx. That's probably
Yeah.
lost in translation somewhere. Now it's just shorthand for disguise. But
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Huh.
um, I'm not gonna lie, like it's stupid humor, but it gets me every now and then. I bet you would like those kinds of older movies, Jim.
Dude, it literally okay, so I just looked at the emoji again. Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious. It really is. Yeah, I
Yeah, it's weird how like pop culture, like you lose the reference, but like the actual image is still like shorthand for something we understand.
yeah. Like even just so many random like sayings is like it means something. It used to mean something specific and now it's like a antiquated thing that nobody even does
Yeah, a lot of those are nautical too.
anymore. Yeah.
Um, like Cup of Joe is a nautical thing.
Really?
When the Navy first outlawed drinking on ships, and I guess the Secretary of the Navy's name was Joe or something like that, and he was like, "Just have a cup of coffee."
Huh.
I
But yeah,
think
yeah,
yeah. I think one other thing I'm thinking about it. Like we kind of touched on it. It's a very sweet movie, but I think the movie like especially the first time I saw it, I found it kind of like heartbreaking too cuz they are very mean to him.
They are.
Just the movie itself and a lot of the people except for her are so mean to him, man. You feel so bad for him sometimes. It's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, and he gets his like karmic.
Yeah, it does pay off in the end, and you're
Like
happy.
someone
So
sees him for who he really is,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do get the payoff.
despite him being like just a goofy homeless dude.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
he
literally getting
really-
picked on by newsboys on the street. Spitballing.
yeah, the pea shooter. Yeah,
Like Joker.
it's the Joker
Wait.
prototype. I mean, they
Oh,
both
man.
paint their faces white and are kind of silly. So
Oh man. Yeah, I did very much like this. I think it's I think it was I think it was a good choice for the first staff pick, just like from the aspect of if we're
It's
going to be
easy.
talking about we're
Yeah.
going to be talking about movies, it's not a bad idea to like go back to the very beginning and talk about something where they were just using the basics and still succeeding in telling like these really transcendent stories.
Yeah, I agree. It's a piece of like movie history. It's accessible and it's like culturally significant, I would argue too. So it's like I don't know. I was like, yeah, this is a logical starting point.
Did we rate it yet?
No.
No.
Should we rate it?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll go first. 5 stars. Probably not a surprise to anybody, but this is how you do this in my like this is the standard.
Yeah. You go ahead, Jim.
I gave it 4 stars.
Oh, nice.
I also gave it 4 stars. I
Hell yeah.
really like it. I really like it.
I'm so glad. This makes me feel very validated as my first staff pick.
So
My
actually, averaged out, this is probably one of the highest rated movies from us three that we've
I think so.
done one of these on. So
Yeah.
I don't remember.
one of them.
Either Glory.
It's one of them.
Glory got.
Oh yeah, Glory. Did we all give that 5 stars?
Didn't we give that the
Is
sweep?
Glory the only Lupo select?
I think it is.
In the hall.
That's such a good movie.
It really is a good movie.
Oh man, that's awesome.
It's crazy though. Like this is one of the higher rated movies, and it's
Yeah.
95 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, when you're thinking about that, I think the oldest, other than, like, A Trip to the Moon, which I don't really count. That's, like, barely a movie.
Sure.
And then, actually, Metropolis might be older. I'm not sure. I don't think it is. But, like, the oldest movie I've seen is Battleship Potemkin. And I remember watching it, and it's silent, like City Lights is, and watching it and just being like so blown away at the fact that they were making movies that good over 100 years ago. Like I think it's actually 100 years old now, which is just insane to think about. Because if you think about 100 years before that movie, it's like
Place. Yeah,
it's crazy.
I think of like horror movies are probably like among the older ones I've seen, like really early 20s, like Nosferatu, Hexan, Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. I'm not the guy to ask about those. That's more of a Nick Cage kind of area of expertise. But yeah,
Nosferatu's 1922, so that's 3 years before Battleship Potemkin.
Yeah, and Metropolis is I looked it up, 1927. Yep.
Yeah. So that's coming up on 100 years as well.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a really long-standing piece of media that we don't give it credit for. I mean, recent compared to everything else, but it's still like a lot of history there.
Yeah. But like talking about like what you were saying, where lost, I think that is why it's kind of important. Like now that everything's getting digitalized, you kind of worry that something like that might happen again, in the future.
Physical media is important. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because like even if everything is digital, people think like, okay, it's just on the cloud or what, but like, there's not endless room. You know what I mean?
That and
And they don't just have it saved everywhere.
paying for a piece of media, you get to watch it as many times as you want if you have a physical copy.
Yeah.
True.
So I think even more than like individuals owning a piece of media, like it is important that these organizations try and like protect and save like reels and copies of movies.
Janus Films, I think, does a lot of that.
Yeah.
This movie is in the National Film Registry.
Yeah, like stuff like that. I think that's all really important.
Mm-hmm. I will say I did do a brief little fact checking about the silent films. 70% were destroyed.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow,
based on a multitude
that's
of
a
factors
crazy
of-
number.
Basically, what you were talking about. Well, the studios, they would just throw them away or burn them because they didn't have any room for them anymore. And then another big factor was the film itself was very, very
Very
brittle.
flammable.
And, yeah.
Yeah.
And they specifically also referenced two fires in, like, MGM had a vault fire and Fox had a vault fire. So a lot of that stuff ended up just being lost, or just the nature of the material being not the best to work with and delicate, and just throwing them away, basically.
If I remember right, I think that was one of the things to the moon. It was like partially damaged in a fire, and the only thing we have now is like sort of restoration of it, I believe.
Yeah.
So, and that's one of the I believe that's one of the older. I could be wrong about that.
No, you're right.
Yeah, it's one of the older movies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything?
Trip to the Moon is 1902.
1902. So I think it wasn't it like first, because I know the first moving picture is the horse or whatever, but I think this is the first, I guess, quote unquote movie or something. Maybe, I don't know. One of those.
The Great Train Robbery gets that.
Oh, that's right.
I think. This was, I think, like the first commercially, like, the Trip to the Moon, like, widespread awareness, I guess.
First science fiction film.
Yeah.
That's the tagline. So who knows? But
we should review a Nickelodeon. whatever those movies were.
Nickelodeon.
The old one.
But I'm glad we did this. This makes me happy.
Good. Oh, it's a musical
instrument. This has been our very first Lupo Select, everybody.
Yay! Hold on, I have
Staff picks.
Oh yes, not Lupo Select. That's only glory. This has been our very first Lupo.
What if that's the only one we ever allow?
It probably will be.
We'll never agree again.
That's why it's called a select.
Oh man, we gotta start keeping track of that. I'll have to go back and look at them.
Once we get really popular and I open up the Reddit, we'll have people do that for
us. Our fan wiki.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else have any thoughts?
I guess we will have another staff pick coming up, I guess. Maybe that's something I should have ready.
No,
I didn't think about it. We can do it whenever.
Fun.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a fun idea. I want you to do the next staff pick, but I think it'll. I do want, what do you call it to be a surprise
each time. Okay.
Yeah, because then it's like, we have our regularly scheduled programming. We have right now the next cinema symposium is going to be Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I said it right?
Yes.
Okay. I've been saying it this past week. I'm like, I have to watch this, and every time I've said it so far to like my coworkers, I've said it wrong. So I'm glad. First take, I got it right. So that'll be the next review that you guys will see, and then I think it might just be fun, just to like whenever we got the time to film it, to film a staff pick, just
throw it on there. Yeah.
I
Yep.
think I don't want to schedule it, but I think a good ratio might be like every 2 or 3 symposiums we throw a staff pick in,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
throw it in the rotation. Um. So
How do we
yeah.
end? How do we end staff picks? I don't even know.
You. Hmm. How do you want to end it?
Let's think about this.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Like Soprano style? We just cut to black.
No, we do that for every podcast. I feel like low key. I'm open to spitballing. Maybe we should make an outro.
For staff pick.
Curtain,
Oh, that's a
curtains
good idea.
closing.
Like thank you for watching staff picks.
Lupo
Hmm.
staff picks will return in Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, whatever we decide to do, I will. So I'm gonna end this right now, and then whatever we come up with in the cutting room floor in the editing room, we will then put it on the back here. So yeah,